Hello and welcome. Thank you for taking time to join me. I am Morjax, and this is just a really quick video outlining my file structure that I use for sorting through my Let's Plays and keeping all my files straight as I go through the editing process on my videos. So this is an accompany to my YouTube creators field guide and resource manual, which I will link down in the description. It is free. It's pay what you want. It can be free if you want it to be. I would encourage you to, if you have not yet downloaded it, take a look, give it a try. If you like what you see, maybe consider paying whatever value is proportional to the value you've gotten. So let's jump through here. I've got on the left side, I've got my manual pulled up. On the right side, I've got my file structure. So here's the deal. I've got my, this is my dedicated Let's Play recording drive. You don't have to have a dedicated drive, but I do. Within that, I've got, this stuff is other stuff, but this is the main folder, recordings, right here. So we're going to double click into recordings. Now this is all my raw footage. This is where I record to into this recording, into this recordings folder. So this is where I'll rename these. Like, for example, these are the some episodes of The Culling that I recorded with my buddy Braskus. So these are the raw footage. This is the raw video file. This is the raw game sounds file, and this is the raw voice track. So this is where I would do any editing. The voice track I have to change to a mono, and I need to collapse the game sounds from surround sound down to a single track. That's its own thing, but basically this is where I would do it here. So we could name this The Culling, Episode 1. And I grab all that, go to the game files, or the game sounds, I like to call that A for audio, and then V for voice. Now I've got my 3 files here. Once I'm done editing them, I'm going to drag them into this compiled folder. Now this is where the business happens. These files right here are files that I have finished editing the audio and whatnot, but they still need to be edited and rendered into a final episode. So these are sort of the in-between. These are in the queue to be edited, I guess you could say. And I just have, you can see I've got Arcshot, I've got Astroneer, I've got Helldivers, etc., etc. Now, let's scroll down here. Within the compiled folder are all the files waiting to be rendered. We went through that. My EndSlate file, which is right here. This is a track that I have, a little video track, my EndSlate that I tack onto the back of every video. And I've got things like music, if I need to use some royalty-free music. I've got some unreleased footage that I haven't, Let's Plays that I recorded but I didn't release. Various channel stuff like channel updates. And then this is kind of the meat of it. I've got one of these folders for each of my active games. So for example, I'm playing Astroneer right now. So let's kind of go through, this is the lifespan of a file. I already mentioned I record straight into the recordings folder. I name it appropriately. I do whatever audio workup I need to do. Now I drop it into this folder. I do the rendering of that video. And so, for example, let's see. I don't think all of these are in use. I'm actually rendering stuff in the background right now. But let's say I finished a Astroneer episode. I'm going to grab those raw files before editing. And I go into Astroneer. I've got 3 different files here, folders here. Raws, thumbnails, and uploaded. So I'm going to go into Raws, and this is where not only I save my Sony Window Movie Studio edit file, so if I want to go back in and edit again, I've got that here. But I also have the raw files down below. And I delete them out every once in a while to just make some space. But this is where the raw files go. And I save those pretty much up until the episode is totally recorded and totally uploaded to YouTube. I save the final render, but I save for maybe a few months. I'll save the raw files until I run out of space. Then I purge them all out. We've also got the uploaded file. These I keep forever so far. I've got an external hard drive that I will transfer these over to once the Let's Play is complete. This is every one of my Astroneer episodes. So after I have uploaded it to YouTube, it goes in here. This is the final edited, the very final video that my viewers will see. And then the other folder we've got in here is thumbnails. So this is where I store, for example, various little pictures that I've snapped in-game that I might use for some thumbnails. and then the actual thumbnail files themselves. So I've got my different thumbnails here that I've made for episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. I've got the GIMP, which is similar to Photoshop. I've got the GIMP file here so I can go back and edit it if I'd like to. And yeah, I just store all my thumbnail supplies in here. So that works pretty well. And I've got a template that I use and can kind of expand out. You can see the template for my thumbnails is pretty similar. That's its own whole topic, of course. And then sometimes I'll just put a description in here as well. If I'm typing up the description before I have any videos to slap it on, you can just have a little text file in here or something like that. Now, that's how I keep all my active Let's Plays sorted. So I've got Mordheim, I've got Astroneer, I've got Arcshot, I've got Walking Dead, McCrum, you know, all these different games that are currently, I consider live. Now, what I do when I finish a game, like let's say if I was done with Walking Dead New Frontier, I'm going to take this and I'm going to drop it into the archived folder. Now, I'm not going to do that right now because it's still active. I'm still, as new episodes of that come out, I'm recording it. Now, these are all the games that I have finished in the past, my archived. Now, what I do with these is I actually go through and pretty much delete all of the raw files. I don't save them. And some thumbnails I'll save. If I need space, I might get rid of those. I'm not sure. But all the uploaded ones I keep. All the absolute final edits I keep. Even though you can download them off YouTube, if your channel ever gets deleted, you know, I don't know what might happen, but in the interest of kind of paranoia, I guess, I save all of my my final edits of completed Let's Plays, and they all go in the archived folder. So that's kind of how that works. And then, of course, like I said, I've got my music. If I've got some royalty-free music I want to include. Channel stuff is things like my update vlogs or my channel avatar or banner. Just various other resources that I keep around but don't necessarily belong in any of the other folders. And then what I'll do, maybe twice a year, maybe once a year. It's basically whenever you start to run out of space. I've got a... let's see, I think it's a 3 or 4 terabyte recording drive. I think it might be 3 terabytes, and I've got a 4 terabyte external. When this starts to get a little clogged up, my computer drive, I'll transfer these completed ones, I'll cut them off of this drive, and paste them onto my external drive. And then they stay there forever. I haven't needed to delete any of those so far. If I start running out of space on that external hard drive, my plan is to buy another external hard drive instead of deleting stuff off of there. You could call it overly cautious, but you know, it's data's pretty cheap these days, and it's in case you want to do a montage or something like that down the road. I think it just behooves you to save the final edited copy of whatever episode you're making. So that is all. That was longer than I meant it to be, but please, if you have any questions, you can hit me up on Twitter. I'm at Morjax on Twitter. Or you can send me an email, of course, at any time, morjaxplays@gmail.com. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope you're enjoying my creator's guide. That is all for now. Hope you have an awesome day.